Hey YouTube, Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. I kind of made an impulse buy here, and I wanted to show you guys this. I'm a big fan of trying interesting alloys for cymbals, and I noticed that the company Stagg makes this cymbal that is a copper steel alloy, and it's actually very inexpensive. The sound examples I heard were pretty good, not like the greatest sounding cymbals I've ever heard in my life, but I was like, you know, if anything, maybe I'll rehammer them and change the sound up a little bit if I don't like them, or maybe I will like them. And also, they're small, and the reason why I wanted some small cymbals, it's a pair of 13-inch hi-hats and a 16-inch crash, is I have my little Club Jam flyer set, and I have an 18-inch ride, Zildjian Uptown ride, but I wanted some smaller cymbals to pair with that ride to use on that kit when I play it acoustically. And sometimes I play it electric. I have it converted to, if you're wondering why I said acoustically. But anyway, so let's open these things up. I have no idea what these are really gonna sound like in person. But from what I saw, the pictures, they actually look really cool. I don't know if I can open this with one hand. I'm just gonna pause the camera, hold on. Okay, so here's the hi-hats. And yeah, these are not brass, and they're not bronze either. They are steel and copper. So it's an alloy. Like regular cymbals, B20 and B8, that's all bronze, made from copper and tin, but these are steel and copper. So one thing I can say, they're pretty lightweight. They feel pretty thin. I don't know how flexible they are. They don't feel very flexible at all, though. Maybe that's due to the steel. They look pretty interesting. They have a kind of a cool look to them. Oh, do these have like top and bottom, or is it just the same? I think they're the same. Yeah, they both just say medium hi-hat. I'll have to weigh them to see if there's an actual difference. Let's set those aside for now. Okay, and take a look at the crash. 16-inch crash. Right here, again, it feels very lightweight. Pretty thin. Let me this is gonna be a weird angle, I apologize, but. All right, so tapping that with my thumb there, it sounds cheap. It doesn't sound amazing. I mean, it doesn't sound like a brass cymbal. It's not dull sounding, but it does it sounds a little cheap. But you know, we'll see what it sounds like when I really hit it with a stick. But again, you know, it's very cheap. It's like $75 for the pack for the hi-hats and the crash. So that's really inexpensive. And we'll see. Maybe it'll have a cool quality. You know, I liked some of those old NS12 cymbals that you used to be able to get. I'm always interested in trying some kind of strange alloys on cymbals. But we'll see how these are. All right, so that was me just playing these AXA series from Stagg. They are interesting sounding. One thing that I want to say is actually these cymbals are quite loud. They're much louder than I thought they would be. This crash cymbal is insanely loud for a 16-inch crash. I just hit my ride a couple of times. I have a 20-inch Peisty 900 ride over here, which is made out of B8 bronze. And this crash cymbal is louder than that, which is kind of crazy. And the hi-hats are pretty darn loud too. They don't sound great. I'm not gonna lie. They don't really sound, I don't love the sound of them, but they definitely sound better than brass cymbals. Brass cymbals have like very little sustain or no sustain at all. And these cymbals do have a lot of sustain. Now, I'm not gonna give up on these things just yet though. Actually, and I don't hate the hi-hats. The hi-hats I think are, you know, in music they might actually sound kind of cool. They're definitely trashy and kind of weird sounding. But in a way I kind of like it. And one thing, since they're so thin, when you push down on the pedal of the hi-hat, you get a lot of pitch variations, I noticed. But they are, like I said, they're not very flexible, and I think that's due to them being steel. Or steel copper, rather. Now, the crash cymbal, I think what I'm going to do with this is rehammer it. I have a technique of hammering, well, it's not really a technique, it's kind of like just beating the crap out of them with a hammer from the bottom, but I'll show you more in detail when I go to do it. But I've done this to several cymbals, like kind of inexpensive and cheaper sounding cymbals, and I'm always happy with the results. So that's what I'm gonna do to this one. I'm gonna rehammer from the bottom, and not like a major thing, but it's gonna basically make it sound a little darker and a little drier when I get done with it, and I think that will be pretty cool. Overall though, for 75 bucks, you know, and if you want some cymbals that are gonna project, these cymbals definitely project. They are loud. And for small, thin cymbals, they're really loud. Okay, so this is how I do the rehammering, and this is not like a super scientific thing. As you can see, this is a very crappy hammer. If you really want to do this right, you should get something that's kind of smooth. I did sand this down at one point, but it's kind of messed up again. Ball peen hammers work even better, but this is the only one I have. But, you know, it's a very cheap cymbal, so I don't really care that much. As long as I don't break it. Now, I'm not sure if I'll break it, because I've never hammered this alloy before, so maybe it will break. But I usually just lay it on a pillow, and I do from the underside. I just give it a few whacks all the way around, usually in about 2 or 3 circles, like large circles, and not a lot, but we'll try it and see how it goes. So here we go. Pretty good. Nothing broke yet. One more. Okay, let's hear what that did. Already a little trashier. So let's do another row. I go a little harder. Check it now. So it's already getting a little bit trashier sounding, which is what I want. I still want a little more though. I'm gonna give it a couple more whacks towards the bell. There we go. That's sounding pretty cool already. This thing may break, I don't know, but we'll... Nice, that actually sounds pretty cool now. Now I'm considering... I don't know. I was considering maybe doing the hi-hats too, but they're so thin, you know, I'm afraid that they're gonna warp too much to where they won't close evenly. But that's how that looks. All right, so I went ahead and did the hi-hats too, and they do still close. I haven't put them on a stand, but I held them together and they seem fine. And I don't know how these are gonna sound really until I get them on a stand and really play them. But I didn't love them to begin with, so you know, it's no real loss. They sound pretty cool like this as crashes. I can't hit it because I'm holding the phone, but I think, you know, in a couple days when I get back to where I can try them again, maybe they'll sound pretty cool, but we'll see. I'll flash forward.
Okay, so it's actually been quite a bit of time since I recorded the last part of this video that you saw. But as you can see here, I actually have another Stagg cymbal right here. Actually, I have a whole other Stagg hi-hat, but I'm going to leave that one out of this video, I guess, because I'm mostly talking about these copper cymbals that I rehammered here. And actually, I think they sound really cool this way. And I have them paired up here on my Tama Club Jam Flyer. So I have the 16-inch over here. I have my Zildjian Uptown Ride there, 18-inch Uptown Ride. This is a Stagg EX. This is a B8 Stagg. And this thing sounds incredible. I got this after the last part of the video. I actually got it as a Christmas gift. And I'm really impressed with the sound of this. And it's a B8 cymbal, but it sounds incredibly dark and really cool sounding. And the hi-hats, now that I did the rehammering and the crash, I think they sound really nice. So let me set up the camera and mics and I'll show you how they sound.
All right, so that's the Stagg AXA series crash and hi-hat pack. I think they're pretty cool, for what they are. They're very cheap. And overall, I probably will use the crash, but probably not the hi-hats, at least as hi-hats. Even though the hi-hats do kind of have a pretty cool quality when closed, but open, they're just really, really obnoxious, I think. And they actually kind of hurt my ears quite a bit. Even before I rehammered them, I thought that was the case with those. But the crash, I actually really like. It's very thin, and I think it sounds really cool. It's kind of like a trash crash. And I actually just recorded a song with it yesterday after I did the video that you guys saw here, and that'll come out pretty soon. And I was using the other Stagg 18-inch crash, which you just saw, as well as a pair of Stagg 12-inch medium hi-hats, which you didn't see in this video, but I'll make a video about those later on. They are the SH series, which is a more expensive series of Stagg cymbals made out of B20 bronze. But overall, if you're looking for a cheap cymbal pack, they're really not bad, or if you just like to experiment with cymbals like I do, they're pretty cool. So anyway, if you're interested, there's a link down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, click that bell icon, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.